Hi, this is the Fundamentals of Online Education, Planning and Application. Welcome back. In the previous session, we looked at an overview of teaching approaches. Again, as I mentioned previously, this is just an overview, and I've provided you with links to readings. So go ahead and click on those links if you wanted to find more about each of those topics. Now we're going to take a quick look at copyright and privacy issues. Now, if you're creating an online class and you have very limited resources of your own and would like to use resources that you find online, then you have to be aware of copyright issues. Many people do not think twice about copying something from the internet. I find this very common among my students. And just because it is on the internet does not mean that it is copyright free. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not providing any kind of legal advice. The reason that I'm doing this is because I would like you to be aware of some things when it comes to copyright so that you are not in violation. It is up to you to decide what you can use without violating copyright laws. Most of this information is based on U.S. copyright laws. The first thing is the automatic copyright protection. Any materials or works online or offline that has been created after 1989 is automatically copyrighted. So this means that these works don't meet the registered logo, the little copyright logo or symbol, because they don't have to be registered with the U.S. Copyright Office. So be careful when you look at works online. If you do not see the copyright symbol, this does not mean that it is copyright free. Always check terms of use on any website to make sure that you do not violate copyright laws. Public domain refers to anything that is available to the public. Now, copyright on any material expires 70 years after the death of the creator or author, and these materials then go into the public domain. However, some materials are always copyright protected, so make sure you read the fine print before using the materials. Creative Commons license is a new type of licensing that is provided for online works. This license allows those who hold the license to retain their copyright, but still allow other people to use the material for non-commercial purposes. And not all Creative Commons licenses are copyright-free or completely copyright-free. So basically, there are three layers of Creative Commons license. The first one is legal code. This is a traditional legal tool for lawyers. The second is commons deed, and this is for regular people, summarizes most important terms. And the next is the CC rights expression language. And this is the machine-readable version which the software can understand. Basically, there are 6 different types of Creative Commons license. Again, I've provided links for you so you can look at it in detail and read more about each one of these. The TEACH Act. The TEACH Act refers to the Technology, Education, and Copyright Harmonization Act. And instructors can use works that are copyrighted for educational purposes in online environments. And of course, the use is limited to a specific number of students. It cannot include the entire transmission of textbook materials. That means you can use portions of it, but you cannot use the whole book. Only reasonable and limited portions of copyright works can be used. And if you are dealing with students, they must be informed that the portions that are being used are actually copyrighted. So they have to be careful. And any portions of materials provided online must not only be password protected, but also have other safety measures, such as disabling of print so that you can't print it, disabling of the copy and paste capabilities so that you can't copy and paste the materials, and you can also do user location authentication via IP checks. Fair use. Fair use is actually found in Section 107 of the Copyright Law. And basically it says that the reproduction of copyrighted material may be allowed for fair use, such as teaching, scholarship, and research. What is considered fair and what is considered infringement is difficult to determine. There is basically not a set rule on how much you can be taken, and acknowledging or citing your source does not constitute copyright permission. So you have to be careful of fair use. And there are basically 4 factors that you need to consider. One of them is the purpose and character of use. What are you using this for? Is it for commercial purposes or is it for nonprofit educational purposes? And you have to think about the nature of the copyright and also the amount of portion that you want to use. How much is not too much? So that's the million-dollar question. And the effect of use on copyright work. So these are things that you need to consider before using the copyrighted materials. So a word of caution. If you're not sure, always assume that the material is copyrighted. Make sure that you seek copyright permission before you use the material. You can get copyright permission from the publisher, the author, or the creator of the materials. So be very careful about that. So in this lesson, we looked at some copyright laws and privacy issues. And just like the previous sessions, these are basic overviews, and I've provided you with links under readings. And this is the last session for week 1, and I will see you next week.